In this video, we're going to cover how to fill out the basic client information page, which contains a good chunk of the universal data elements without entering a client into a program. First, let's go over when you might actually use these steps. If you are attempting to add a client to your by name list and they refuse the coordinated entry assessment, the next step would be to offer them a universal data element assessment. This would mean the client would not go through the coordinated entry workflow, but would still answer some basic demographic questions. Before you jump right in, it's important that you check to see if the client is not already in the system. Search HMIS for an existing client record by clicking on the blue magnifying glass in the top left-hand corner. I encourage you to search more than once, using different fields in order to cast a broad search net. Once you've completed your search and determined that your client is not already in HMIS, click on the intake icon in the top left-hand corner of the screen. You'll be presented with three options. If you've done intakes before, these should look familiar to you. For this example, we're going to say that this is a completely new client. We've searched the system and we weren't able to find them. When you choose Add New Client, you'll be taken to another search page. If you've already searched the system, click Next on the bottom right, which brings you to the Basic Client Information page, which contains some of HUD's universal data elements, mainly demographic information. Each field marked with a red asterisk is required, even if the answer to that question is client refused or client doesn't know. If you're going through this process with the coordinated entry intake, you might see that this page is slightly different, but still asks the demographic questions. At the bottom of the page, make sure that the client's restriction status is set to Share Globally. This should be the default status for every client who signs the release of information and agrees to share their information. See the ROI video for more information. Once you're done entering information on this page, click Finish on the bottom right. In the coordinated entry workflow, the ROI will be on a separate page. Be sure that the information release number is set at 10,001 before moving on. This brings us to the Family Members page. Though this page looks different from the basic client information page we just saw, all of the questions are the same. It's essentially the same universal data elements assessment. Fill out any UDEs for family members the head of household provides. You can add family members in two ways. If you know or think the family member is already in the system, you can click on the magnifying glass in one of the empty rows and search for that client as normal. Or you can click in one of the empty rows and manually type out the client's information across the row. For minors under the age of 18, if the head of household indicates on the ROI that the children's information can be shared, these fields need to be set at Share Globally. If the head of household indicates on the ROI that they do not want their children's information shared, then these fields need to be set to Restrict to Organization. Once you've entered all family member information, click Save and Close on the bottom right. At this point, you're done. You do not need to move on to the enrollment phase if the client has declined the coordinated entry assessment. To cancel the workflow, click on the little X icon in the intake panel. Client Check will ask if you are sure you want to cancel. Say yes. Now your client and any family members you entered into the system should have an HMIS number. Their demographic information will also appear on their dashboard. Thanks for watching.